Healthy Lifestyle Crib presents 7 Signs of an Evil Person. Number 1. Enjoy your pain. What about someone who takes pleasure in seeing others suffer? Is there anyone you know who takes pleasure in your misfortune? They may seek to profit from your misfortune, or at the very least derive sadistic satisfaction from it. If someone you're dealing with acts in this way, it's because they have no empathy for your situation. Being empathetic is being able to put yourself in another person's situation. A person with empathy will try to understand another person's situation and feelings, while a person lacking empathy will not even try. In fact, they intentionally worsen the suffering of others by being nasty and critical or even physically violent. The lack of empathy in someone you know could be indicative of their negative character, but it could also indicate that they are lacking in some other trait. One of the most often recognized characteristics of psychopathy is an inability to empathize with others. One of the hallmarks of the personality disorder known as psychopathy is an inability to empathize with other people. Although many psychopaths do engage in harmful behavior, this is not true of all of them. However, when a psychopath takes pleasure in the suffering of others, it might be difficult for them to lead a normal life. Unfortunately, they can turn nasty and dangerous, and a lack of empathy can manifest itself in a variety of ways. Perhaps they breach your trust and stab you in the back. Possibly they exploit your confidences against you, or they abandon you at a time when you need them the most. Stay away from persons who take pleasure in hurting you or others. Their inability to empathize with your predicament is a clear signal that you're dealing with an evil person. Number 2. Avoiding all responsibility. When something goes wrong, does your friend try to shift the blame onto someone else? These traits are characteristic of a self-centered, nasty character. Ponder the last time you blundered. Perhaps it was a simple case of carelessness on the job. Afterward, how did you feel? Regrettable, ashamed, and contrite. When good people screw up, they admit it and work to make amends, while bad people did the opposite. An bad individual will rationalize away any blame they may have for their actions. They are incapable of making mistakes, therefore they are quick to place blame on others and launch personal attacks. They don't regret what they did, and they aren't ashamed or contrite. They don't try to make amends with those they hurt or apologize for their behavior. They blame everyone else and refuse to take any responsibility for their actions. Number 3. Being cruel to animals. Do you know anybody who is cruel to animals? Perhaps they ignore your greeting attempts from your pet, or they mistreat their own. People have varying degrees of fondness for animals. Some treat their pets like children, while others would never dream of doing such a thing. Some individuals acknowledge their pets but otherwise ignore them, while others do not. Evilness often manifests itself through behavior like this. When people harass animals, they are being bad because, like us, they are sentient beings. We form bonds with them in the same manner we do with other people. Think about how lovely it would feel to cuddle up with your dog after a long day at work, or to have your cat purr on your lap while you unwind from your day. Being cruel to animals is a reflection of a lack of empathy for other sentient beings. That is to say, he or she is either too self-absorbed to give a hoot about the well-being of anyone other than themselves. Pay attention if you see that someone you know is terrible to animals, whether they are abusing their dog or throwing rocks at squirrels. Number 4. Profitable deception. There are times in everyone's lives when they tell a little white lie to protect another person's feelings or avoid causing them harm. Evil individuals don't lie for the sake of others. They lie to achieve what they want, which is usually to avoid difficulties or conflict. Rather, they intentionally and frequently lie for their own profit. Signs of a psychopathic personality include lying and manipulating others. In reality, the dark triad as a whole is rife with deceit and manipulation. Narcissism, Machiavellian tendencies, and psychopathy make up the dark trio of personality disorders. Each mental illness is linked to perpetrators of violence or evil in its own way. Each member of the dark triad has trouble empathizing with others' pain. Machiavellian selfishness motivates people to manipulate, deceive, and lie on a regular basis. Psychopaths rarely develop the emotional skills to understand another person's hardships. Narcissists may believe they have the right to manipulate others, and narcissists may think so highly of themselves. Someone on this potentially harmful spectrum could be someone who lies frequently for their own benefit. They could have trouble empathizing with others and have an inflated sense of self-importance. A person who shamelessly takes advantage of others may be malevolent, or they may just be too self-absorbed to see the dangers of manipulation. Number 5. Malicious criticism. Is there a friend that always manages to make you feel like an idiot? It's one thing to be called an idiot and another to feel an idiot by contrast. Okay, so let's say you hang around with a genius of the highest kind. If you're not as well versed in the topics they talk, You may feel inferior to them and their wit may leave you feeling foolish. However, even being compared to the evildoer does not make this individual bad. There's no bad in being intelligent, but it might be humiliating if someone else points out your lack of it. Okay, let's try out a different plan. You keep telling your same super smart pal that you're terrified of something, but instead of listening to you, they make you feel silly. They diminish your concerns and make you feel insignificant. Clearly, this is the behavior of a villain. Good friends attempt to avoid hurting others' feelings, and if they do express disagreement with your views, they do so in a way that doesn't come across as personal or hostile. It's possible that this nasty and maybe malevolent person is taking their anger out on you. It's possible they view you as an easy target since they believe you have less strength or intelligence than they do. This is a recipe for disaster in any kind of friendship or connection. If you know someone who constantly belittles you and makes you feel stupid, it's probably better to keep your distance from them. Number 6. Universal self-interest. When it comes to other people, an evil person just has eyes for themselves. An evil person is entirely concerned with themselves and their own happiness, hence they would do everything to achieve their own goals. So let's call it self-interest in general, because this individual is always thinking of how to better oneself. And further hallmark of the dark triad is an all-consuming desire for personal gain. Don't anticipate any favors from these people since they have high self-esteem, which is linked to delusions of grandeur and victim syndrome, both of which we've discussed before. Consider how little time you'd have to devote to considering the feelings and needs of other people if you focused entirely on yourself. I guess that's why villains don't worry too much about their loved ones, they have none. That's why evil ones will step all over people to get what they want. They don't care how they get there as long as they get what they want. Number 7. Warnings from others. Have you ever been cautioned about a close associate or friend? Have you been cautioned to maintain a safe distance before? Despite the fact that at first glance they look like a perfect candidate? This is the main issue with many people who have vengeful character traits. Since they are so skilled at hiding their true identities, they can fool you into thinking they are your best friend or soulmate for a long time. People can be manipulative and controlling when we fall for their charms and disregard their red flags, such as when they claim to care, listen, and guard your trust, but then betray it at the most inopportune times. We take their critiques to heart and let them change who we are on the inside. If you're not emotionally committed in a situation, it's simple to spot the bad guys from the outside, but if you are, you should pay attention to what other people are telling you. Someone who would do anything bad to you probably did bad things in the past. Listen to the advice of people they trust, like friends, family, and even ex-lovers. If everyone thinks highly of this person and assures you that you won't be hurt by getting too close to them, then you have nothing to worry about. If, on the other hand, you've been warned not to get too close, then you might be dealing with someone who is worse than you think. Be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way. Thanks for watching.